Hello, I'm Nige.
I'm Anders. Welcome to what is dot dot dot. Um, we're going to explore another new tea. Well, explain. Nige, you explain. Go on.
Well, I'm really looking forward to this because we've done the research on it and I've never looked forward to a tea quite as much as this one.
Yeah,
It's Darjeeling tea
Darjeeling tea. It's
and
yeah.
it's an Indian tea and they call it the Champagne of Indian teas.
Yes, I think that depends on stuff.
Yes.
But
So,
let's
but
come back. Let's go to. Should we do the origin story? We'll go do the
I'm,
origin
I'm going to
story.
have a sip of mine first.
Oh yeah, come on, let's do it. Now, question here: have you gone for milk or not?
I have.
Right. Okay.
It's not meant to be as bitter, it's meant to be very smooth. So I need milk in it.
I don't when I because I've got a bag. It's a bag I've used, and would normally have milk in it.
Yes.
But um, because it's Darjeeling, I tried without, and it's very nice.
Anyway, let's go through the origins of the
The
tea.
origin story is this: so it's grown in India, Kalimpong area, Bengal. It's kind of North Africa, North India. Do beg your pardon. Now, what we have there is we have the Camellia sinensis assamica being the only tea plant that is indigenous to India.
Okay.
Okay. Thankfully, Britain was having one of its many little wars with China. You know, they do opium, they have tea wars, all of this sort of stuff.
Yeah.
And they nick a little bit of Camellia sinensis, which is slightly lighter
It's
bush.
got a smaller leaf, I
Smaller
believe.
leaf, that's right, yeah. So they nick that and they take it to Darjeeling and they try these plants. It's Archibald Campbell is working for the East India Company. He took these two plants back to Darjeeling in 1841. Yeah, there we go. And um, yes, so he basically set up these tea stations here and they tried to grow both plants together, but it found that the the gradient and the slope and therefore the drainage, the the cooler climate, the slightly cloudier climate was more favourable to the Camellia sinensis. So basically, those bushes were grown there. Um,
What I've found,
yeah.
well, first of all, Darjeeling, where the tea's grown, is a relatively small area. It's only about 70 square miles.
Mm,
They're plantations or tea gardens,
had
and there's
no
only
idea.
about 80 of them.
Right. Okay.
And it's at between 3,000 and 6,500 feet altitude,
Mm,
which again, that comes into the properties of the tea as well.
yeah.
But anyway, continue, Anders, with
Well, I
this.
was going to say
Yeah.
so. Therefore, basically, they started making tea with the sinensis plant from there on. Um, it's um, it's picked in uh, four flushes, they call them. The picking season is from March through to November. Um, Now, if I remember correctly, the first flush is March. It's plucked fresh leaves and it's light and fruity.
And it's just the top two leaves, isn't it, for the first
Top two
flush?
leaves and a bud. Yes. Um, and
No,
you
that
think,
that first flush,
yeah,
that's that's up there in there.
yeah,
That's the champagne
yeah.
of Indian tea.
And then they start doing these weird things. Um, they let stuff eat it or gnaw away at it or something.
Okay.
The leaf, the leaf something, I forget what it's called now off the top of my head. But this adds a kind of muskiness to it, a kind of a
Wow.
musky spiciness to it. Now, being the tea snob that I am, whenever I've had Darjeeling, it's always been, well, of late, first flush.
Yes. La-di-da.
um, although I'm having a tea bag now at the moment, and
I've
I'm
got a tea bag.
quite enjoying it. But so yeah, this is the life cycle. We've got the slightly light, fruity one, and then it gets infected. It becomes ever so slightly
A little bit
musky and
spicy.
spicy. Third flush is a bit. It's the monsoon season. It's the warmer part, and it that's probably when you're going to get mm, the lower end of that tea.
Well,
That would
the
probably
tea
be
produced in that part is primarily used in iced tea and tea bags. So
tea bags. Yeah,
the
so we
tea
might
bag
well
is
be.
probably from the monsoon pickings.
Yeah, and if that's the case, it's really still not that bad.
It's well, not bad.
Mm. Um, and then there's the fourth flush, which is around October, November. And apparently that becomes a little bit more like that second phase, musky and spicy.
It's
But
got a bit of nuttiness in it, apparently.
that's it. Right.
Nutty
Okay.
woodiness in it.
Right. Okay.
Because again, the plants are starting to store up all the nutrients for winter, and you're just getting something extra in it.
Yeah.
But it's
Um,
fascinating.
it's a fascinating tea, and I
Four
think
very different teas from the same plant.
some of the same plant.
Now, when they're actually, because of the altitude, when they're picking leaves,
Yeah.
they're drying out. They dry out completely during the oxidation process, so there's no drying part. And that, again, that just adds to the flavour of the neatness. Now, when I put my tea bag in the in the
Hmm.
cup here and poured, I thought it was a green tea to start with. It was so pale and
Yeah.
green. It did start going darker because I left it for the full 5 minutes, this tea bag. Uh, but it was incredibly light, and that comes through in the flavour, I think, the tasting.
Again, in some cases, some the first flush is used as a white tea.
Yes.
Um, and you can see why that would be. You can.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, that's Darjeeling.
And it's a very, very nice cup of tea. It's
I
incredibly smooth. I'm
It's
probably not
something.
getting the fruitiness through that I should be. It's hinting there, but I think the milk's probably destroyed it for me in my cup.
Yeah, and I think honestly, if we're drinking from bags, then I think it's probably
Yeah, I'm
not
going to
one
have
of
to.
the first flushes.
I have got some loose leaf. I'm going to give that a go. Thanks.
Yeah. And I'm going to have to go along to my local tea shop and get some because I haven't.
Your supplier.
My supplier. Have a word. Don't say. Don't say it. All right.
Anyway, that's Darjeeling
That's
tea. You know
Darjeeling,
everything
mate.
about it now,
Yeah, we've learned some
as
stuff.
we do, because we knew nothing before we this
No.
afternoon when I went on the internet to find out.
And corroborated those facts. We
Yes,
didn't Wikipedia it.
it's funny. We both did our own research, but we came up with different stuff, which was great.
Yeah, it was. It kind of, yeah, absolutely. So anyway, that's Darjeeling. Thank you for watching. Um, comment. Let us know what you think about Darjeeling. I know plenty of you. I know tons of you out there have drunk it. But until the next time, thanks for watching. See you soon. Bye.
Goodbye.